This is Tom Dillon, the Lifetime Liberal, and today is Monday, January 9th, 2016. The title of this rant will be, With Friends Like Russia, Who Needs Enemies? Now, today I was at the gym, just happened to notice that they had Fox on one of the channels, took a quick glance at it, and the question they had is, why are the Democrats so upset that Mr. Minority is trying to have better relationships with Russia? Basically indicating that let's just blame the Democrats, that everything is okay with Russia, except for the Democrats being all upset about this little thing here, and it's just incredulous to me that a station like that in Mr. Minority, that just shows an incredible amount of minimizing of the politics of this situation, which is a very, very serious situation. Many people have likened Russia's hacking. So there are two things about that. Number one, they hacked into the DNC. And number two, they spread a lot of false news about Hillary Clinton. They didn't hack directly into any voting booths or anything like that, but they influenced the election by allowing information, and it really was not very bad information about Hillary to be brought out from what they had gotten through the DNC. They also had a lot of false information. And of course, that influenced a lot of things. And remember also, Mr. Minority, I do believe at one point in time, he actually asked Russia to hack into Hillary to get the 30,000 emails or whatever he was looking for. But the point is, the minimizing of this is a very, very serious matter. Because I would, yes, consider it an act of war. And the reason why I say that, and this is especially true in talking to our friends in the GOP, because they're always talking about what an exceptional country that we are. And if we're such an exceptional country, then in my humble opinion, is that, hey, there should be nothing more sacred than our election process. Absolutely nothing more sacred than that. Because if we're so exceptional, we are so exceptional because of the government that we have, which is elected by the people, or supposedly by the people. Because remember, they were all for the Jim Crow laws. They were all for, I shouldn't have said that, the Democrats were. But at the same time, they've reinvented it with voter ID and all that other kind of stuff. Again, Mr. Minority actually asked the Russians in front of one of his crowds to hack into Hillary's emails. And if we just remember, Russia is a very, very bad player on the international scene. They are technically a failed petro state. They only can do two things right now, or three things. Number one, sell oil. Number two, sell arms. And number three, hack into other countries' systems to try and wreak havoc and establish a viewpoint that is counterproductive to the best interests of that country. So remember, Putin murders his enemies. He's consolidated his power. There virtually is no press that's going on in there. He's worth billions upon billions of dollars. And remember, he was just a lowly KBG agent before he got the power. And now it's just him and his buddies with an oligarchy that's running the country and basically believing that his shit doesn't stink because all of the polling basically is indicating that he's at a very, very high percentage in terms of his popularity. But again, everyone thinks that they're being hacked or being eavesdropped on. So, hey, they're not going to tell the truth anyway. But, remember, he's worth billions of dollars, and he's been a bad player on the international scene. He's invaded Georgia. He's taken over the Crimea. He has invaded the Ukraine. He has helped Syria to the extent that thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of innocent civilians have lost their lives, something the United States and Barack Obama would not do. He has also made overtures against Lithuania, and Estonia, members of NATO who Mr. Minority has indicated maybe we shouldn't help if they haven't paid their dues. Don't know if they really have paid their dues or not, but they are a member of NATO. They are free, sovereign countries. And you know, is that the price that Mr. Minority is willing to pay to have good relations with him? And of course, the other thing I said, what did I say the three things were? Oil, arms, and hacking. And of course, it isn't just us that they've done it to. They've done it to many countries in Europe, especially Germany and France, and they have done it in a reference to helping out the far right in those European countries. So in a lot of ways, it is very, very foolish of us, especially Mr. Minority, to think that better relations with Russia is going to be based on their terms, and that's beneficial for us and to the world. No, he will screw us any way he can. And if the things are to believe, then I'd like to think that more will be revealed soon, that Mr. Minority has connections to Russia which are not good for the United States. And remember, Rex Tillerson, the person who we want as Secretary of State, as ExxonMobil was against the sanctions for Russia for their invasion and dirty deeds in the Ukraine. And he wants to drop those sanctions because he wants more petro. Now, there's a lot more on all of this, but the basis is we don't need friends like that. We need to be diligent, you know, in our in the sanctions against them and our monitoring of a really, really bad player on the international scene.